Movie Magic 96, your one-stop shop for all things movies. From reviews, unboxings, and collections, I'm here to celebrate the magic of cinema. Now, let's roll the film. Today I wanted to show off my playbills from Broadway and touring shows I've seen. In alphabetical order, I've seen Aladdin, American Idiot, Cabaret, Finding Neverland, Jersey Boys, The Phantom of the Opera, Rain, A Tribute to the Beatles, and Wicked twice. I definitely went through a big Broadway phase and went to a lot of shows in a small amount of time. The first show I went to was Rain in 2010, and the most recent I went to was Finding Neverland in 2015. Before we get a closer look, I wanted to show off this binder I got from Amazon. Just search Playbill binder from Broadway and theater show bills and you can find it for $30. This binder has 20 sheet protectors and keeps your programs dust-free and safe. Alright, let's take a closer look. First off, we have Aladdin, and if you don't know, I'm a massive Disney fan, so seeing this play was a no-brainer. The New Amsterdam Theater where this show takes place is huge. It seats over 1,500 guests and is located directly on 42nd Street in Manhattan. At the time, Adam Jacobs played Aladdin, James Monroe Iglehart played Genie, and Courtney Reed played Jasmine. From what I remember, they were all great. James even won a Tony for Best Featured Actor in a Musical in 2014. After the show, my friends and I stood by the stage door and we got to meet Adam and James, but I'm not sure about the other autograph in the bottom left. First off is Aladdin, and I wanted to show a close-up of the ticket stub. I really miss that they don't print tickets anymore. You know, that they just go straight to your phone. But I understand. I mean, this is easier to lose than something on your phone. But I just miss holding it in your hand and giving it to the person, getting it scanned. It's a whole process, and I still consider this like a physical media. So if you ever had your old tickets, open them up, see how cheap the prices were. You'll have a heart attack because they're so expensive now. But yeah. So, and then obviously you can see when you went, and it just means more than just a picture. But yeah. So again, it has the New Amsterdam Theater, which is really cool. And then on the back, it shows obviously Aladdin and Lion King, the other Disney Broadway show. And I'd love to see the Lion King. That's like my favorite animated movie. So I'd love to see that on Broadway. But okay, so close up of the playbill. This one actually says showbill, which is kind of weird. A lot of them say playbill, but same thing. So of course, yeah, we got Prince Ali, Adam Jacobs, and then Genie right there. And then I'm not sure who that is in the corner. It might be Jafar, but I'm not sure. Let's get some images here. There's a couple pages I wanted to show you. You can pause and read if you want to, but I love the purple and the gold and the story of Aladdin. I really love these, playbills. You can just read them while you're, waiting for the show to start, or you come home and maybe you're on the ride home and you want to check it out, and it just adds another layer to the experience. Okay, what else? Oh, here's a good one of who's who in the cast, all their pictures. What else? Right. Oh, there's a Lion King image. Love that. And this is cool. It says like take a magic lamp selfie. Cool little marketing thing right there. This is another cool one. So the Disney on Broadway. So it shows obviously Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Mary Poppins, Tarzan, Little Mermaid, Newsies, and Aladdin. So some merchandise. Of course, you got to sell some merch. And oh, there you go. I put a picture in there for how the Genie won his Tony Award. He was phenomenal, man. He could sing. And so that is it for Aladdin. Second is Green Day's American Idiot. But this one I caught touring because I wasn't able to make it to the Broadway show. At the time of the performance, Johnny was played by Jared Naputi, Will was Casey O'Farrell, Toonie was Dan Tracy, Heather was Mariah McFarland, What's-Her-Name was Olivia Puckett, St. Jimmy was Carson Higgins, and the Extraordinary Girl was Taylor Jones. If you don't know, Green Day is in my top 3 favorite bands, and American Idiot is probably my favorite album of all time. The play features 13 songs from American Idiot, 5 songs from 21st Century Breakdown, and a few others. From what I remember, there wasn't much talking in the show, which was kind of strange, but seeing the performance in a live setting was great and the stage design was rad. Fun fact, the lead singer of Green Day, Billy Joe Armstrong, played the role of St. Jimmy for a short period of time, and so did Davey Havok from AFI, and boy, would I have died to see them. But a few years later, I would be able to see both bands in concert. All right, next up is Green Day's American Idiot, and I'm just covering the local theater for privacy reasons. Okay, let's see. Let's flip here, although it might say it over here. But okay, American Idiot, Green Day, Billy Joe Armstrong. Who's in the cast? Right over here. Understudies. Oh, here's pictures. Very good. And if you wanted to pause and see the song list, of course, American Idiot, Jesus of Suburbia, Holiday. And then it goes into 21st Century Breakdown with like Know Your Enemy, 21 Guns. And yep, so got that there. And that's it. Here we have Cabaret at the Roundabout Theater Company. And if you don't know, that's where the iconic disco club Studio 54 used to be. So standing in a place where many celebrities did drugs was incredible. I'm sure some of you know about the 1972 film starring the legendary Liza Minnelli, which was based on the musical from 1966. I remember at the time I had watched the movie right before I saw the show, so it was great to compare and contrast the two and have fresh in my mind. What was really special about the performance was Alan Cumming and Sienna Miller played lead roles. Alan was in the movies GoldenEye, Spice World, Spy Kids, and X2, X-Men United, and has played the role of the MC many times before. You might recognize Sienna from G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, or American Sniper. I was lucky enough to get this playbill signed by both of them, especially when it was a cold night after the show. All right, next up we have Life is a Cabaret, Old Chum. Come to the Cabaret. And so you can see we got the ticket right here. Roundabout Theater Company, Studio 54, 8 p.m. show. And I don't think there's anything else on the back. All right, so at the top right here, we've got Alan Cumming's signature, and I think that's Sienna Miller. And let's see what we got here. All right, I wanted to show off the pictures of the cast right here on the left side. Rest of the cast and the roles that they played. Musical numbers on the right. This is a really big playbill. A lot of pages in here. Okay, nothing important. Nothing important. I guess more of the cast over here. And I wanted to show this. This is really cool. You could look at this too, like shows that used to be on Broadway. Beautiful, which is Carole King's musical. Chicago is a classic. Finding Neverland was there at the time. I didn't know there was a comedy written by and starring Larry David. I didn't know he was on a Broadway show. If Then, I remember that was Idina Menzel. Kinky Boots, Jersey Boys, Les Miserables, Mamma Mia, Matilda. What else did I recognize? Book of Mormon, which is the South Park musical. South Park writers wrote it. And then of course Lion King, Phantom of the Opera, Wicked. Avenue Q is a funny one. A lot of funny songs. And okay, that's it for Cabaret. Third, we have Finding Neverland, and this one was really cool because at the time it was filled with celebrities and it was actually in previews. If you don't know what previews are, that means the cast is testing the show in front of a live audience and things may change before the real opening date. Now hold on to your pants and listen to this cast list. Matthew Morrison from Glee, Kelsey Grammer from Frasier, Laura Michelle Kelly from the movie adaptation of Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street, and Melanie Moore, who won season 8 of So You Think You Can Dance. I was a massive Glee fan at the time and went on to be a Frasier fan as well. I've also never seen the majority of the cast outside of the stage doors, but I'm guessing since it was in previews and an afternoon show, it was meant to draw hype up for the opening. And there are so many signatures on this cover, I actually don't know who's who. Last, I'd like to say, at the time, I hadn't seen the movie with Johnny Depp, Kate Winslet, and Dustin Hoffman, but both versions were very heartwarming, and it's great to hear how Peter Pan's story came to fruition. Right here we've got the ticket, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name because I'll probably butcher it for the theater. Again, this was an afternoon show in previews. Okay, give you a close-up of all the autographs, and unfortunately some of them got smudged over time, and I wish I knew which one was Matthew Morrison. I don't think I got Kelsey Grammer's because I don't have a picture of him on the computer, but yep. All right, let's see. This was, we were just talking about Larry David in the Cabaret one, so that's cool. I'll have to give this a read of his Broadway show at the time. More of the cast and the music and lyrics, songs, pictures right there on the left hand side. Cast and musical numbers, Act 1, Act 2. And that is it for Finding Neverland. Being a Jersey boy my whole life, it was only fitting to see the Broadway show of the same name. At the time, this show was being shown at the August Wilson Theater, which opened in 1925. It's so cool being in a building with so much history. The cast included Jared Spector as Frankie Valli and Eric Bates, Matt Bogart, Ryan Jesse as the Four Seasons. Now, growing up Italian and in New Jersey, the songs of Four Seasons, Frank Sinatra, and more were always playing in the house. I had seen the play with my family in 2011 and the Clint Eastwood directed feature film released in 2014. I've only seen that once and don't remember it being as good as the play was. All right, so this one we printed the ticket out. We did not get a physical one. I'm covering I think my mom's name was at the bottom. But Jersey Boys, 7 p.m. September. This one was a little bit expensive. And, yep, nothing on the back for that. August Wilson Theater. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Jersey Boys. Who's in the cast playing the Four Seasons, book, music, and lyrics by. This is a good one. Has the cast, and then it has the original Four Seasons down there, so you can get a side-by-side view. Here's another one. Cast. Who's playing who? Got some merch there, of course. All the songs, Act 1, Act 2. See if there's anything else worthy of showing off. And nope, that just about does it for Jersey Boys. Here's my favorite Broadway show / musical of all time, and that's none other than The Phantom of the Opera. Andrew Lloyd Webber's magnum opus started in the West End of London in 1986 and 2 years later on Broadway. There are too many film adaptations to name, but Lon Chaney played the Phantom in 1925 and Gerard Butler in 2004. I did enjoy that 2004 film, but it doesn't come close to the thrilling live stage show. When the chandelier rises from the stage to over the crowd, it's truly breathtaking. I was able to meet the Phantom himself, Norm Lewis, outside the theater and get his signature. Norm and Mary Michelle Patterson voices were incredible. I think they were the best voices I've seen in a live setting. Right here you got the ticket for Phantom of the Opera. I'm covering my school's name right there that I went with. $50. We used to get tickets for discounted because they would buy it for a group. Majestic Theater. And okay, that's it for the ticket. Right here you've got the playbill and Norm Lewis signed right there on his mask, who played the Phantom. Let's see here. See, it's so cool to open these things. If you still have them, you know, just go back and you open up and you go, wow, Bradley Cooper was on a show for 14 weeks. So it's just cool to go back and see something that was that you didn't know about. And then you go and you learn about it. You watch a YouTube video or read up about it. So it's cool to learn information about these things. Phantom of the Opera, Norm Lewis, Mary Michael Patterson, of course, Andrew Lloyd Webber. There he is, right there, Norm Lewis. I love that scene where they're on the boat. So cool how they could, do that in a live stage setting. Are these songs? These are the songs right there. If you want to pause it. Sorry, I'm trying to look at it and show it in the camera at the same time. I like these two, who's who in the cast. So you'll see here's the rest of the cast. You'll see oh, I saw him in this play, or I saw her in this play. Okay, nothing else here. And that is it for Phantom of the Opera. I've got a great short story about this next one. I was on vacation with my family, and we saw a 30-minute infomercial special with this Beatles tribute band called Rain late one night after getting back to our hotel. I was at the height of my Beatles obsession and had bought most of the physical CDs because at the time they weren't on iTunes. A couple months go by and we had never talked about seeing them, but my parents surprised me and my brother with tickets to their Broadway show, and it's probably the nicest thing anyone has ever done for me. We saw Steve Landis, Joe Curatolo, Joe Bithorn, and Ralph Castelli as John, Paul, George, and Ringo, and they sounded and looked spot on. If you close your eyes, you'd think you were at Shea Stadium in 1965. All right, next is Rain, a tribute to the Beatles on Broadway. Right here we've got the Neil Simon Theater, and wow, 2010, 15 years ago, in an afternoon Saturday show. I couldn't imagine what the prices are now, but still $81 is reasonable, under $100 for a Broadway show. But now it's probably cheapest, worst seat in the house, $150 or $200 or something crazy. But okay, so we got the playbill. And let's see. Okay, Rain, starring Steve, Joey, Joe, and Ralph. Here's the pictures of them right there. And Steve looks like a Beatle, but once you put the wigs on and you get the costumes and everything on stage, they really look like the Beatles, and they sound like them too. Musicians and at certain performances, who's who in the cast. I'd love to know, I know the other band that's Beatles tribute band that's big is the Fab Four, or the Fab Four. I'd love to know if you've seen them and if they were really good as well, or if you've seen Rain touring. And more pictures from the cast. And that just about does it for Rain. Last up, we're defying gravity with my mom's favorite musical, Wicked. At the first performance, Glinda was played by Chandra Lee Schwartz and Elphaba was played by Jackie Burns. For the second time I saw it, Glinda was played by Jenny Barber and Elphaba was played by Christine Dwyer. I did enjoy the movie as well, and I think Ariana Grande was born to play Glinda. Now, the outside of the Gershwin Theater might not look like much, but the inside is magical. From the entrance with the escalators and mural behind it to the massive 1,933-seat theater, it truly feels like you stepped into the land of Oz. If you grew up with The Wizard of Oz, which we all did, you'll go crazy for this prequel. Alright, so we've got Wicked, and again, this one I did see twice. Only Broadway musical I saw twice, and it's so good. It's probably my second favorite musical next to Phantom of the Opera. But I like that they updated the playbill. They have like the more cartoony 2D version, and then they give it a little bit more detail on there. But for the first one, back in the day, I guess a couple years later, 2012, 2013, they started doing the Ticketmaster. You'd have to print it out on a piece of paper. But of course, I printed it out and cut it to save it. So I loved that as well. So I guess we'll go with this one first. Let's see. Always want to show who's who in the cast. And we got that right here. Gershwin Theater. I think I could be wrong. I think the Gershwin Theater is the biggest. And then Glinda and Elphaba, Jackie and Chandra. Gershwin Theater is the biggest, at least seats in Broadway. Again, it's like 1,900 seats, which is massive, absolutely massive. So if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comment section below. But I think it's the biggest seated theater in Broadway. Let's see. Okay, that's this one. And we go into the next one. Gershwin Theater, 2014. Okay. Oh, there's Ron, freshman to Broadway. We saw that in the other one, the Bradley Cooper advertisement. Show you who's who during this show. Oh yeah, they used to put these in there too. Joining the company, the role of Elphaba will be played by Lily Cooper. So maybe it was an understudy or someone was sick or something, but they do put those in the playbill sometimes. Aladdin, oh, musical numbers right here. Of course, you end with the iconic Defying Gravity end of Act 1, which is just insane how she flies all the way at the top of the, I'd be so scared. I'd be scared of heights being all the way up there. But, okay. Everything else is pretty standard. And, yep. I'd love to get back to a Broadway show since it's been 10 years since I've last seen one. I really want to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Have you ever been to a Broadway show, and what's your favorite movie musical adaptation? And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check me out on Instagram at MovieMagic1996. Thank you so much for everything, and go watch a movie today.